You're tuned in to Steve Megatron on Altered Geek Unlimited.
Hello and welcome to Altered Geek. I'm your host Steve Megatron Phillips, and in this episode 170, I'm going to be talking about a couple different things. For one, I've been planning on recording this episode twice this week. However, it's just not been coming together. No idea why. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of out of it. And it's kind of weird for me because, like, lately, everything's been going great. Got a new job, got, a lot of stuff going on. And I went to record and just couldn't come up with anything. Like, I just was plain burned out. And I have no idea why. And I don't know if it's something to do with the holidays. I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that, it's just end of the year, things I wish I could have done, things I didn't get to do. So I don't really know what it was. So I don't know if you guys have had any of those kind of instances in, like, the past couple weeks or anything. For the most part, things have been going actually really well. It's just I don't know. The evolution of the show, I think, is changing, and I'm not sure I should say I'm evolving, and I have no idea what direction I want to go in at this point. And it kind of pains me to say that because I love this show. I love conversing. I love talking about geek and a lot of other stuff. However, some of the same stuff that excited me earlier this year doesn't really hold it for me anymore. And I'm not quite there yet on figuring out what does. So I kind of wanted to approach this episode. I'm going to talk about a little bit of news and stuff in the geekdom, but it's more of a down-to-earth kind of thing. And, maybe like 2017 resolutions. And no, I'm not talking about that crappy MTV video that you got yanked after 2 days of colossal thumbs down. If you don't know what it is, you should be able to figure it out already. But yeah, that's totally different spectrum. But I would say, like, one of the things I want to accomplish next year is unloading. And what I mean by that is, and I know I'm going to accomplish that one because I'm going to be moving next year. My new job that I have is a media company based out of Dallas, Texas, or Irving, Texas, that area. So I'm actually doing what I want to do. I'm actually involved with a company I see myself going very far with. And I don't hate my job, which is always a bonus. And thanks to doing this podcast and Geekcast Radio, it's kind of opened up that door for me. And like I said, I've always wanted to kind of go in this direction. I think now that I've finally gotten to that point, I'm confused on where I want to go from here. Like, do I want to, when I get to a certain point there, do I want to get into a producer? Do I want to be an editor? Do I want to be a host? Do I want to recreate this show with a different, viewpoint or different level of coverage, but still covering some of the same stuff? Like, it's opened up new doors and a lot of new possibilities, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do next. But as far as, like, unloading, I'm trying to cut down on my hosting capabilities. There's some shows I'm obligated to that I will be finishing out. Some of them that I've helped co-chair in the past or co-created, or created will be coming to a close this year, or in 2017. This show, I'm not particularly sure what's going to happen. I'm positive I'm going to finish through episode 200. Whether it goes beyond that is a completely different story. I still plan on doing twice a week. I'm going to do like a kind of sit down and converse episode, probably shorter, between 30 and 40 minutes. And then I'm going to do a news episode of the same capability of 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the amount of geeky news. And I still plan to get back to my YouTube channel stuff. The last 2-3 weeks, I've been swamped with school assignments, and I've had to do videos for the stuff and redo them, and then the task of learning a new job, and then so everything's just been compounded, and I lost all like ability to relax. So like every day this week, I've been unwinding by playing Battlefield 1 while I was going to be podcasting, because I didn't really feel like I could get to that point. So that would be one of the things I plan on doing. Number 2, I think I will be splitting Altered Geek off from Geekcast Radio in 2017. And why the move? Well, because there's a different... I don't feel like I'm accomplishing as much as I could be if this show were not on the network. And it has nothing to do with any of the other shows. It's something I've been pondering for a while. I kind of want to have like my own soapbox website where I can just kind of do and say whatever I want, without having to feel like I'm infringing on somebody else's show, or if I feel like I'm piggybacking on something that we're already covering, that somebody's doing it in a better fashion than I am. Because all the creators and all of the podcasters on Geekcast Radio are awesome. And they know what they cover. I mean, they legitimately are good at it. And I think I've been at this so long that I'm kind of losing that steam and losing what I want to do. And I don't know how you guys feel about the show. I don't know how this show's kind of evolved over the time. Somewhere along the line, it got wrangled, and I've never been able to get it back. I've tried, and grant you, some episodes are better than others. Some of them I get more down to earth than others. Some of them I'm paying attention more than others. But ultimately, I don't really know where I'm going from here, which kind of sucks. So that's one of the things I plan on doing. 2, I'm going to be selling in the beginning of 2017 my entire comic book collection, several movie posters, some action figures, some Batman Hot Wheel cars, some various things like that. With having to take this move to Dallas next summer, I cannot bring everything with me. I have to downgrade from a house down to being in a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment again with 2 kids, my pets, my wife and I, trying to have an office, so I'm not exactly sure how this whole thing's going to play out. Because I know originally I was going to be getting a monitor for Christmas that we kind of talked about, and I was planning on getting this, but I'm thinking I'm going to hold off until I actually move, because I do have 2 monitors right now, but I'm thinking I'm going to unload some of that before I move. That way it's one less thing I got to carry down there, and then I'll just buy a new one when I get down there. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be unloading next year. So if you're interested in any of the stuff I'm going to have for sale, like I have Batman comics, I have some DC comics, I have some Transformers Dreamwave, I have some Transformers other comics. I've got, like I said, there's like a multitude of different types of things I have. And if anybody's interested, just email me and I'll send you the list and go from there. I also completed the Transformers Network ad that I did a few months back. And then I got to actually watch the mostly completed one. I have no idea where the actual website went from there. I went to go check it a few days ago. It's missing. I don't know what's going on. So that's that. I will be cutting my load down a lot on what I'm showing up for. With being on the computer all day and doing transcribing of other podcasts and other content and videos and whatnot, I don't really want to be sitting in front of my computer as much as I have in the past, unless it's to play a game or something. I haven't wanted to do that. So yeah, that's part of it. And then I'm going down to my last semester of school, so I'll finally be graduating with my associates 4 years after originally starting. Not really ideal, but at least I'll be done. It took me that long because I work full-time, and unfortunately until this point, they've decided recently within like this semester that a lot of the classes I've taken in the past are going to be hybrid classes, meaning that you meet once or twice a month and you do the rest online, which would have been nice when I was actually taking them. But again, this is my last semester. After this, I'll be done. So that'll be nice. And then, I'm kind of running on this, like I said, low steam. So I don't really know what I want to cover anymore. A lot of the TV shows I watch, like, yes, I enjoy them, but like I don't necessarily want to talk about them anymore because there's such a overload of all of this content out there. Whether it's between, Star Wars movie news or the Flash news or, whatever, because there's so many websites that have popped up or been around that are covering a lot of the same stuff. I just don't feel like it's relevant for me to be talking about it anymore. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. That's how I'm starting to feel about it because, like Gizmodo, is covering, spoilers about, Rey's training in Star Wars Episode 8, which isn't really all that big of a deal from what I've read. I mean, it has to do with some native bird that has to be on the island, and they approve of Luke, but not of her, so she has to go through this massive training thing, and it's not really... it's not anything pertinent, but like, I mean, it's like stuff like that. I can't get behind where it's like all clickbait garbage anymore, between different sites. So I can't do it anymore. And then, that's why I don't cover Transformers news. And that's why I'm probably actually interested in Transformers 5 is because I know nothing about it other than what I've seen in the trailer. And I think that's kind of a downfall of technology and social media is we know too much to the point that ignorance flies like no other on the internet because people are so ill-informed or follow their biased viewpoint on stuff or just it's full of like clickbait garbage. Oh, blah blah blah. Did you see this about Rey? Could she be the son or the daughter of so and so? Like, I mean, just I don't know. The internet's full of that too. So like between all of that, I just don't feel like it's relevant to cover anymore. I enjoy gaming, but I'm on such a limited view of that as well. Unless it's something older I've played or something current like Battlefield 1. I don't really follow too much of it. I mean, I'm interested in the new Mass Effect. I'm interested in, of course, any Batman game that comes out, although the Telltale games had no interest for me. And then, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has their life model decoys finally debuting in the second half of Season 4. And then The Flash says that they may or may not have Teddy Sears show back up as Black Flash because Zoom turned into Black Flash before he disintegrated. Could be interesting, but who knows. And then, of course, there's the Blade Runner trailer for 2049 with Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling. Yes, I know I've just like weirdly stepped into the news territory, but I'm sure it'll like swing back around at some point. So yeah, I mean, I as far as like some of this new stuff, like I've been toying with a lot of this stuff for a while. I don't really know what I plan on doing anymore, but I guess time will tell. I did see Star Wars Rogue One. Although you could say Rebels because the Ghost and Chopper were both in Rebels, or in Rogue One. Little bit cameo pieces, but you had to pay attention to see them. And then I won't spoil the movie for anybody that hasn't seen it, but the ending for me is probably the best part because it does bookend right into A New Hope, which shouldn't be any surprise because it takes place like right before. And the whole movie is about getting the plans of the Death Star. So like you got to figure it's like a giant mission anyway. But you actually get to see like how the New Hope starts. You really don't understand or know what's going on. So when it actually starts at the end of Rogue One, you get this nice kind of picture between the two. And everybody knows Tarkin's in it. It's not for very much. He doesn't really sound the same, which is kind of sad. And some of the digital kind of looks hokey for being Disney. It's pertinent that he's there because obviously the Death Star. But it's digitally it feels forced. The voice doesn't sound the same, and it's supposed to be like right before A New Hope, so like it doesn't sound the same to me. And it doesn't look it looks off. So I felt a little irritated with that. But they actually make Vader very fearful and menacing at the end, which again butts right into A New Hope. So now that I've seen that, I got to watch the beginning of A New Hope to kind of get this, kind of bookend it right there. And then Saw Gerrera, which is he started out in Clone Wars and goes to Rogue One. Well, he's going to be in Rebels too. So they said Rebels may eventually touch on Rogue One content because Rogue One originally started like 5 years before A New Hope. And then in other movie news, I know I said I wasn't going to cover too much, but some of this I find interesting. Dick Van Dyke confirms he's returning in Mary Poppins Returns, which I don't normally cover stuff like this or like Disney or whatnot, but I think it's kind of cool that an old actor comes back to play in a new rendition or a sequel. Although it doesn't say whether he's going to be playing the same character or not, but it's going to be focusing on a new set of characters, but Mary Poppins will still be in it. And then there's an image from Justice League where they show the Trinity. However, it's not the Trinity you expect. It's the Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, so that's some of the kind of cool movie news. Not really quite sure what should be talked about. Oh yeah, some of my other resolutions. I want to try and find a new topic of conversation. I love tech, I love gaming, I love geekdom, but again, like I said, there's too much of an overload, so I got to kind of find my niche in this scenario again, basically to evolve. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas and some of that stuff that you'd like to hear me cover, I feel like in the last 8 years I've covered so much content, it's hard for me to figure out what I haven't covered to this point. And it kind of pains me to say that, but I just don't really know anymore. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll come back with some other content after this.
Welcome to the Wicked Radio Network. To interact with the show, you can contact us in the following ways. You can call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. You can email us, feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can visit the episode post on geekcastradio.com or alteredgeek.com. You can get a hold of us on Twitter @Altered Geek. Look for us every week on geekcastradio.com, of course, Stitcher Smart Radio, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and alteredgeek.com. And now, back to the show.
So, getting into the geeky news and awesomeness that is Geek. Now airing on Cartoon Network, starting December 16th, 2016, and in the US and November 26th, 2016 in the UK, Justice League Action is now coming out on Cartoon Network, starring the voices of, like, Kevin Conroy as Batman Bruce Wayne. Then you have various other people that are unknown to the series of Batman, should I say. We have John DiMaggio playing Lobo. We have Michael Dorn playing Atrocious. We have Kristen Freeman playing John Jones. We have Mark Hamill playing the Joker and the Trickster and Swamp Thing. We have Josh Keaton playing Hal Jordan, Green Lantern again. John Delancey playing Brainiac. We have Troy Baker playing Hawkman. Diedrich Bader playing Booster Gold. We have Patton Oswalt playing Space Cabbie. And then, Brent Spiner playing the Riddler, which is a little different. And yeah, there's a bunch of different actors playing different parts in this that's pretty cool. And it looks like it's... From what I've seen, some of the clips, it actually looks genuinely cool. They're 11 minutes long. One of the producers is Alan Burnett, which makes it easier for me. And then Sam Register is one of the executive producers. These names are you pretty much know who these people are. But the series run is going to be 52 episodes of 11-minute episodes apiece. It's got a little bit of that toony look to it, but it very much holds true to some of the DCAU styles, in a sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from that pop out in the near future. And of course we know that Star Wars Rogue One has aired. And I've heard mixed things on this. I have not yet seen this film. I've heard that it's the best Star Wars film to not be written from a book. I've also heard that it's better than The Force Awakens. And I've heard that it's a very good film in the sense that it leads up to... butts right into A New Hope really well. And that Vader gets a really awesome scene in this movie, and a fight scene. So... there's just a lot of good things to hear about this, and I honestly cannot wait to see this. But in other Star Wars-y kind of awesomeness, Bad Lip Reading on YouTube happens to have this song called Seagulls, and it's I found it right before the last episode, I should say. And I'm going to play a quick clip of that here. But you got to watch the video because it's really humorous how this thing plays out. I can't help it. I've been watching that, and it's a long, long time ago, but it's not the future. And it's another Star Wars one, and then they've got Bushes of Love, which is another one, which is Star Wars. They're all really funny. But I like the long, long time ago, and in the not so future, and then the Seagulls. It's just hilarious. So I'm gonna take a quick break and play a clip from that real quick.
Penny for your thoughts.
I hate Brenda, and a bad guy hit me in the shin, and I peed all in my pants.
There's nothing a little music can't help. Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls poke at my head, not fun. I said, seagulls, stop it that stank.
You put a fish in our basket.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I did that.
You owe me an apology.
Just hold your breath and see when the time is right. Birds will back your face. Now run, 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 jump. I can be your backpack while you run. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be your backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand and lift rocks with your special gift. Run, 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 jump. Now breathe.
So yeah, that's that the seagulls video part of it. I kind of cut it up a little bit, but it's you got to check it out. They also kind of used that joke when they did the Honest Trailer thing with the Empire Strikes Back with Yoda and Luke with the backpack part. So if you watch that, that's what they're referencing is this video. So yeah, check that out. Yeah, there's been a lot of awesome stuff kind of getting posted over the internet the last few days. I've been watching like a couple different movie trailers. In addition to what we did that last episode, like the Lego Batman movie looks like it's going to be good. The Founder looks like it's going to be good. The Circle, which is Tom Hanks basically playing a social media guy that's got everything connected, almost on par with like what they're, like a social network type thing, but it's got Emma Watson playing like the one of the lead roles of one of the new recruits to the company, should I say. So that looks pretty interesting as well. So yeah, there's been a lot of like goofy stuff getting posted around too as well. Like there's a fan that created a real live grappling hook on YouTube, and it's fully functional. I don't know if I would want to climb it, but they managed to make it so it launches and it shoots and it actually grapples and connects with the top of a building on a YouTube video. So that's pretty cool as well. Yeah, I've been a lot like really behind on a lot of my YouTube, whether it's posting videos, whether it's doing game reviews, whether it's doing just stuff, even catching up watching videos in general, because I've been so backlogged with school. And it's been insane. I've got 2 classes right now, plus I work full time, but I work at home, but I don't have access to the software, so it sucks when I go to edit. It's like Adobe Premiere 2017, which my teacher updated my project file, so now I can only do it at school, because I don't have the most up-to-date Adobe. But we recently did like an interview video type of thing for a nonprofit organization for a project in class, and it's kind of works out, but I just turned it in, and then he's like, oh, the music, blah, 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 like, gotta fix this, and give us like 2/3 credit, so I'm like, I need to go and fix that. So, yeah, kind of a dick move, but still, oh well, I'll get that turned in. So recently, I obtained a copy of a comic from Marcosia Comics, issues 1 and 2 by Sam Johnson, called Geek Girl. I came into contact with them through Twitter and got a review copy of issue 1 and 2. And I have to say that the art is really good. The storyline's pretty cool. I like how it's broke down. The colors are a lot brighter than your general like comic book character storyline comics, but I kind of like that in a sense because it seems like comics have gotten way too dark. Not that the story doesn't have its like dark aspects, but the art is really well drawn and colored. It kind of reminds me of like a Zenescope style with their comics, but it's actually pretty neat. So if you haven't heard of it, yeah, you might want to check it out. So yeah, the comic, basically, the first issue is of the Geek Girl miniseries. Like I said, comes out from Marcosia Comics. So what it entails is the nerd becomes cool superhero trope gets flipped on its head in Geek Girl. which I think is actually pretty neat. And you can get information about it, get the digital and variant editions. You can buy it. It's geekgirlcomics.com or get it on Comixology. So it's created and written by Sam Johnson and illustrated by Carlos Grande, who's done Grimm Fairy Tales and Charmed. The miniseries, we meet attractive, popular Maine college co-ed Ruby Kay, a girl who is used to getting anything she wants, but when she overhears the resident college brainiac talking about super tech glasses he's invented and decides she wants them, her whole world gets turned upside down. We're introduced to Ruby. She's a girl flying around in a superhero costume looking for crime, chatting to her BFF Summer on her cell phone, questioning if she's doing it right because she's been at this a couple of months now and nothing's happening. Then something does happen right in front of Ruby. Neon Girl, Maine's resident big shot superheroine, is blasted through a billboard by a mysterious new villain. So Neon Girl is taken off the map and requiring a life-saving operation by this extremely powerful enigmatic woman, Lightning Storm, who seems to have come from nowhere. And Neon Girl wants to know what Ruby is going to do about it. So basically Ruby, who's scared, reveals how she got the glasses on a whim, how it was her friend Summer who made her a costume and came up with a superhero name for her, and now she doesn't really know what she's doing. But this isn't a point of view from the no-nonsense Neon Girl has any time for. Her attitude is the Geek Girl has superpowers and sure dresses like a superhero, and so she needs to step up and stop Lightning Storm. So Miss K is trying to get her head around this. Things have taken a hit in her social life thanks to a glitch in the glasses programming that's messed with her head and made her super klutzy. The only evidence she's provided her cooler-than-thou clique of her powers has involved knocking drinks over them, alienating her from all but Summer. Johnson concludes, so with a social life in tatters and a new status she doesn't really understand, Ruby has to try and take on an extremely dangerous force who just hospitalized someone who's like 100 times better at superheroing than she is, and then it kind of goes from there. So definitely check out the first issue. It's actually really well done. And check out the second issue as well, which is it's already out as well. It came out on December 7th. So yeah, again, check out this comic. I will put a little bit of information on the website as well. But yeah, the second issue introduces you to Alt Girl. Like Ruby is part of a gang of attractive girls. So much, it's a similar formula, but it's a pretty cool series. I've had more fun reading a lot of the indie comics lately than I have the mainstream. I haven't actually picked up a mainstream comic in a while. I'm still interested in picking up like the Ninja Turtles and Batman crossover and the animated Batman and Ninja Turtle crossover, but I'll have to wait on that. But yeah, so that's the bit on Geek Girl, so check that out at geekgirlcomics.com or Comixology. And I'll be back right after this.
Fine. I will just use the transporter. Oh, right. You broke it.
So back to the other content that I've been trying to get to, and that is the resolutions as well for next year. I know I keep going around and around and around and around, but I do want to start getting back into voiceovers next year. I do want to start getting into more YouTube. Well, not even YouTube. I just want to get into some video content. I want to try and cover different things or try different skills that I've learned. So I'm not really sure what format that's going to take. I have figured out how to use my green screen, which is kind of a plus. Yeah, so what are you guys doing for, what are some of your news resolutions? I might have more, I don't know. I'll wait until the next episode when I have TF2 and Mike, and Mike the Birdman Dot on, which will be after the beginning of the year. I will not be releasing another episode until 2017. Sorry for the delay on this. I was intending to have it out on Tuesday, and then again, like I said, Monday didn't really feel like recording. And then I was going to do it on Wednesday to have come out on Thursday. And again, didn't feel like recording. So I'm doing this on Thursday. So it'll come out on Friday like normal. Now the top 100's over. Hope you guys enjoyed that. There will be possibly a double dose of top 100 next year. Only time will tell. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great Christmas, a great New Year's. I hope that you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. You get everything that you want geek-wise. I hope that you get to spend time with family, friends, and just have a nice, safe holiday as we come back into 2017. And so, yeah, this has been Steve Megatron Phillips. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you can contact me on Twitter at SCP21 or Steve at AlteredGeek.com or Steve at Geekcast Radio, whichever. So until next time, get Altered Geek Geeky with the Altered Geeks.